All right, so I guess we're going to talk about Marvel Zombies. Yeah, there's a lot of things to discuss. It's what it is, and I found it lackluster, but I know there's probably some bias there. So let's get into it. What's up, my know-it-alls? Okay, so just got finished watching the 4-part Marvel Zombies on Disney Plus, and I got thoughts, and maybe you have thoughts as well. At any given point, you can jump down in the description. You'll see time codes marking along the lines of this thing. It's gonna be kind of a rambling review, mainly because from a technical side, everything's fine. I personally was never a fan of the what if art style. I mean, it grew on me because of by virtue of the storytelling, at least such that it was. I was kind of hoping for some sort of a Watcher intro or something because it is tangentially connected to what if, but unfortunately we didn't get that. So, you know, whatever. It's your basic story. All 4 parts carry you through. There's a MacGuffin that the Young Avengers girls get, it's Riri Williams, Kamala Khan, and Kate Bishop, who are the 3 starting protagonists. By the end of this thing, it's Kamala Khan who's leading the whole charge. They come across a thing that is actually a shrink transmitter that maybe can call the Nova Corps, who can come help with the problem that they're having, the zombie outbreak problem. Right out the gate, I have a problem with the fact that they made Kamala Khan the center. Not because she's not a fine character. Whatever. I don't care one way or the other. It's not for the reasons other people are going to have. The reason I have an issue with Kamala Khan is because she's no kind of a character that I don't know anything about her in the MCU with the exception of her show, which I barely got through 3 episodes of because even my daughter, who at the time was the right age, said that it felt like they undershot their age group and she didn't have any interest either. So I didn't really watch that. I did see The Marvels and I liked her in that. I thought she was the best part, actually, one of the best parts, actually. And definitely the energy that actress brings to the role and to the MCU in general. But Riri Williams, Kate Bishop, I don't know, it felt, I don't want to say not earned, but I didn't care. Like, that's my problem. My problem is the characters you jump me into first, I don't care about it at this point. They're not characters that I'm super overly concerned with. And I would have liked to have seen other characters focused on more. I know when you find, they brought in I say the Thunderbolts, but they brought in Yelena and what you call, voiced by the indomitable Florence Pugh. And they also had David Harbour playing Red Guardian. And I felt like she was sidelined to being the person who said the joke in her funny Russian accent.
Why the cape and the glowing eyes? Is she with you? Whoa, that's how you do that then.
Wow. And I'm like, really? Yelena's the comic relief? I mean, I guess I used to see that Natasha in that kind of similar role, perhaps. But I don't know. I feel like, tell me what you thought. Did I misread that whole thing? Each of the episodes subsequently deals with a stage of the journey that Kamala Khan is on to get you to the very end. And at each point you deal with the realities of the zombie apocalypse. Then we get to this crazy bit of information that I didn't realize. There was a zombie Thanos.
That's not this story either.
Now they don't really tell you why that happened or what the scenario was by which that happened. We just know that we're dropped into, oh, there's Thanos with the glove, and apparently he's learning, which only informs them more that there's the potential for intelligence there. Okay, something along those lines. So anybody who's read this goes way off book in terms of, so if you're expecting to see Marvel Zombies, the comic book, no. Because unfortunately, that's the one lesson Marvel doesn't seem to know how to do, which is give us decent, especially in animation, give us excellent retellings in motion of good stories. Make changes relevant to the MCU, sure, but otherwise, like Marvel Zombies is right there, and it does a really good job. Like, seriously, I'm talking about the one that's really focused on Peter Parker at the time. There's several parts, but the one I'm talking about is like, you could easily have done this opening part as that. Which I know that you're kind of like, well, that was what the episode was from What If, kind of. But I feel like that was more of a mini version. I feel like you go into a longer, more protracted version of that story here. I loved hearing Wanda's voice.
These weary travelers are confused. Grant them mercy.
Love that. That was great. And again, the animation, I'm not one for this animation anyway. The standout, Mahershala Ali's Blade. Which is not voiced by Mahershala Ali, but clearly that's the pattern they're using for. This was produced after the announcement, but there's been no clear movement on it. Who would have ever thought that this, like, at this point in the life cycle of the character of Blade, when this was put into production, we should have known who he is. And he's the Moon Knight of this universe, so he's Blade Knight, whatever. And it's funny because I feel like he works the Khonshu angle almost like Ghost Rider, in terms of like really harnessing that power when it comes time to do the vengeance-y thing. I'm pretty sure the guy who they got to voice Khonshu is the same guy who voiced him in the original TV series. One of the best voices I've ever heard.
Has the world changed so much that the Asgardians no longer recognize my deity?
But yeah, I wasn't overly impressed. And it isn't that, and mind you, I'm not licking my wounds after Fantastic Four. I thought Fantastic Four was fine. I'm actually very happy with. I feel like that's a good way to start turning the ship. This doesn't feel like the same thing. As in, this doesn't feel like a good way to turn the ship. Okay? And by that I just mean this feels very the last phase. I have a feeling that when they put this in production, not only was Blade supposed to be a more consequential character, I feel like we should have had the Young Avengers. We should have had obviously Ironheart would have been out sooner and probably would have been received better. I don't know. There's a lot of presumption being made here in this that I don't know that I agree with. It made the 4 episodes for me a slog. Even when we get inklings of interesting things, there's not much to those things. Baron Zemo is running the raft, and really it's just an excuse for him to bring food to the Atlanteans, thus protecting Nemo and his people there, I guess. So it's a very weird setup. And everybody fights, everybody sacrifices, the whole 9 yards, it's a whole thing. Overall, I enjoy this for what it is, which is this is selling more of what I think the What If universe should have been giving us. And I feel like we never really got, like, there's still a ton of What If stories. So I mean, I'm a little butthurt about that, you know? But overall, I would love to hear what your thoughts are. What did you guys think? Was the animation good? Did you care about any of the relationship things in term working? I don't know how I felt about Infinity Hulk. It's only other thing to call him is Infinity Hulk. I don't even know, and I have to do some research. I don't even know if he's somebody from the comics or if we've ever seen anything like that, or that was invented purely for the sake of this series. And it probably was, which I'm fine with, whatever. But I just feel like, what an unused and missed opportunity. Not to mention the fact that you have this clearly nigh infinitely powerful being who her solution is to just wear him down with like numbers. I don't know, I had a problem with that. And the fact that he's somehow heals but slowly. Again, the rules of the world didn't work for me as much as I think maybe people might want them to. But overall, I got what it was. I enjoyed it for what it is. It's a nice morsel of a Marvel thing that I'm like, ooh, that was fun. I don't know, in all honesty, if I'm gonna watch it again. But there you go, now you know. And if knowing's half the battle, you're halfway to being a know-it-all yourself. Would love to hear more about what you thought. And would love to definitely talk more about if what your thoughts are about it. Do you have a better, sunnier outlook about it? Would love to hear that, because Lord knows, I don't know that I have one right now. And I can't tell why. That's my big thing. But before we go much further, the know-it-all index for me, for this, all 4 parts, the mini-series itself, I'm gonna give this a middling 6.5 out of 10. Yeah, I don't know, man. I wasn't super impressed. I really wasn't. The animation is fine for what it is, though I'm not a fan overall of this style. I think it does what it's doing. I think you don't get enough of the characters and these wonderful voice actors being their characters because there's so many of them. And I feel like in animation, you should have picked a focused event in Marvel Zombies. Just my takeaway. Would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know what you thought about the entire thing. And again, hopefully you're enjoying the channel. I know that I'm enjoying doing these videos for you guys. I love everything we do. I love when we talk, especially. Tomorrow night is going to be, I'm sorry, not tomorrow night, Friday night, we're going to be doing nerd fights, and we're going to talk about obviously Marvel Zombies. We're going to talk about I have some Star Trek-y questions that I'm going to talk to Salty about, and we're going to look at the finale for Alien Earth, and most likely be talking about the next episode of Peacemaker, which drops tomorrow. So, all right, guys, I will talk to you again very soon. Never forget, everyone loves a know-it-all. Bye, guys.